Hey everybody, it's Rob here. This is gonna be my Season 6 starter class. I'm gonna explain like the details and the exact build that I will play to dominate Vessel of Fate with the new expansion. So many of you have asked me why I'm not planning to start Barbarian. With a heavy heart, unfortunately Barbarian is very much on the weaker side right now. There is a weapon throw build that you can play, and I think after I played my main class this season, I'm gonna try Barbarian. I might try Spin to win Rogue. But the class that I will start with, and I also believe this is the best class and the best build to play right from the beginning, is the Eagle Spiritborn. And the beauty of this build is you can pretty much start playing this right at level 1. You either level in the story or you level in the Helltide, and this class is fantastic using the Quill Volley aspect. And just the Quill Volley skill to combine with Jaguar. I'm gonna have a leveling guide exactly step by step for this class linked below. It is fantastic. The Eagle is a super cool, a super free, powerful playstyle that both excels at AoE but also single target damage. And basically I have the entire progression mapped out for you right here. I'm gonna link those planners below. So you're gonna be basically starting with nothing. Rocking the Quill Volley. You don't need any runes necessarily. You don't pretty much need anything.
Less than 3 racks left.
Less than 3, let's go. And it's just going to be a very strong build from the beginning. And a Quill Volley is just, I think, one of the best and one of the highest hitting core skills right from the beginning, because it shoots many feathers and it also makes everything vulnerable. So it is fantastic. And you also have this fast-paced playstyle where you essentially are dashing towards all the enemies at all times thanks to your Revenger. You see, like, you just dash, and you just like melt everything right from the get-go here with pretty much no gear or no synergetic aspects. And once you get these aspects, this class is gonna roll. You may have seen me here with this class dominating the hardest of endgame content with relative ease. The Spiritborn is a true powerhouse and currently much stronger, I feel, than most of the other classes. And you're basically starting out, you finish the campaign, you do some strongholds, and then you're already level 60. And in this build, you can also see the very start of the Paragon level. So you're just starting out down here, and you're speccing into like the Spirit one first, because you already have a big crit chance once you get your Kapaleka. But you can play this completely without any Uber uniques, and this one doesn't require like a lot of Paragons. You just go step by step. I think picking up the supping aspect early is gonna, supping here is really important in the Paragon progression and also in the item progression. You see in this build you don't have any uniques yet, and yes, there is no weapon in this planner here because you are Spiritborn and you always have a two-hand weapon, and you're gonna be constantly replacing this weapon every 4 levels basically. And it's just gonna be a big power boost, and it's not worth the material to put an aspect on the weapon. So just find whatever weapon you have, highest DPS, keep switching it out, keep switching it, and just get on with the levels. And as you go higher and higher, once you hit 60, you can choose a weapon. And if you must, before you get Kapaleka, you can choose the Quill Volleys here on the weapon, and you play another aspect here. But what you really want to be doing is, as soon as you hit T1, it should be your main priority. So we have, I'm going to link this below, a full loot table here. And what you want to be hunting for is Duriel or Endariel for this weapon here. This is the Rod of Kapaleka that basically enables the build to really deal a lot of damage. The build is viable without it, but this weapon makes it marginally more powerful. And they thankfully decreased the cost of Duriel. So you can just do this on Torment 1 or on Torment 2, whatever you feel comfortable with. I recommend this doing it on Torment 1 at the very beginning. It only costs 2x, 2 shards. You don't need any Stygian stones, nothing. And I definitely recommend to target farm this. Ideally in a group. You can, for example, do the Undercity in Kurast to get the boss materials. I already have a video on this here on the channel too. It's very easy to target farm, for example, the boss mods, and you will have a lot of boss materials, and you will barely be spending any because it only costs 2 and 2. So this one is very important. And then the next item you really want to look out for is from Beast and Eyes, is the Harmony Helm that basically allows you to gain multiple skill tags on your skills. You can see this is the leveling build, and then under notes, you will basically transition into the endgame build. And there's a very early version, and I have good news. You do not need a single Uber Unique to make this build work. And in fact, even in the endgame, you don't need an Uber Unique necessarily. There's one Uber Unique, which is Tyrell's Might. We can talk some details about later. But for Torment 1, Torment 2, Torment 3, no need for any Uber Unique. You just need to focus on those uniques. So, Rod of Kepeleke from Duriel and Dariel. You can get the Harmony from Beast and Ice. And then there is one more here, Midnight Sun. This is the ring that basically solves all your resource issues. So if you're looking for this, you can just see here, Midnight Sun. This ring drops from Gregoire. And this is actually pretty cool because Gregoire also gives you the shards that you need for Duriel. So you just need to do a little bit of Helltide or a few, bounties or Andracity to get a couple of living steals to get this ring. And overall, there are not that many unique items in the Spiritborn loot table. You see there's only 5 items. So the chance is very high, and even the non-ancestral will do to get one of these rings. And once you have those 3 items, you can basically fully transition from the leveling build here, which doesn't have any uniques, into this. I'm going to link this below as well. Early Paragon like version. You can start this right away, and you basically just assign the Paragon points board by board. It doesn't really have this many actives yet, so if you're level 50, you'll probably have the first 2 boards active, and then you're level 70, you get the next board, and then you're level 100, you get the next board, and so on and so on, and then you get the last board, for example. And so this is the entire progression here. Basically, you're starting off very easy on the Paragons, only pretty much taking the legendary notes and some of the rare notes on the way, and then you fill out the Paragon more and more as you go, all the way into the very end game build where you're spending basically all your Paragon points. You see the boards are very similar. You're just picking up, some of the extra rare notes, and you're populating the glyphs fully. You're picking up even more rare notes. But again, it's not necessary, and there's the full step-by-step progression basically in the planner. You can also see here in the skill tree, you can see on level 1, on level 2 you skill this, on level 3 you skill this, and so on and so on. It goes all the way to level 60, building the entire skill tree out basically, and just having a really strong 1 to 60 level experience. And then I will transition as fast as possible after we did these bosses on T1, whatever we can handle. Harmony, Kepeleke, Midnight Sun, those are the 3 you really want to target farm. And once you have this, there is not really any crazy challenge in the game anymore for this build, because this build is so strong. In the very end, T4, Torment 4, the hardest world tier, is still very difficult. And I definitely recommend, if you find, well, you don't need to find it actually, you can just beat Lilith. You can do Lilith on T1, it's going to give you a guaranteed spark. And you can beat the Season Journey, it's also going to give you a spark. And you can use those 2 sparks to craft 1 Uber Unique. It only costs 2 sparks now. It's a random one, but if you have the runes, I recommend crafting Tyrell's Might. It's pretty much the only Uber Unique that you need, because you have the Harmony, which is basically competing with a Harlequin's Quest with a Shaco. You don't really need Shaco. You have the Midnight Sun ring. This one is basically your Starless Sky. It solves your resource issues, so you don't need Starless Sky either. And I think the only really good unique here is the Tyrell's Might, because you will need a lot of all resistances in those high torment tiers. Actually, you want to master a damage reduction if you can. So you will have to look out for the Tyrell's Might. You can play without Tyrell's Might, but Tyrell's Might is very good to survive on Torment 4. In general, guys, before you switch the world tiers, you should rather play on an easy tier. I also recommend, I did play in hard here, but I recommend for most of the players to just start out in normal mode. The reason for this is the main experience that you get from leveling comes either from the strongholds, the closing, or the boss killing, and from the campaign itself. And one thing that is really important to understand, you don't get most XP from killing monsters. You get the XP from the campaign quests. You have to do the new campaign. The new campaign is awesome. You're gonna enjoy it a lot. But I recommend you playing this on hard, unless you want a big challenge on expert, because no matter if you're playing on hard or expert or even a Pentient, you are not getting the bonus XP on the closing XP. So in comparison to normal, hard gives you 70% or 75% more XP, but this is only for monster kills, and it doesn't work with the quest experience. So I think it's really important, like, if you want to have like a smooth leveling experience, you want to have a great time, just play on normal. Your level will barely be any different to another player that played on hard, or that played on expert, or even on Pentient. You have this option if you want a really like challenge yourself. You play hardcore Pantheon from the start. It could be a pretty fun challenge. However, if you just want to have a good time, you want to enjoy the game, I definitely recommend you starting on normal. And with this build, you will just completely dominate. You can also do it on hard, but normal is definitely my recommendation. So yeah, the Eagle builds are fantastic, my friends. Again, this build you can dominate from level 1 all the way to level 300, and that is what I'm gonna do. Later on, like probably like a week, 10 days into the season, I'm definitely wanting to make a barb. I want to see like what the Earthquake barb is doing. I want to see what, you know, the Mighty Throw barb that got buffed is doing. I also kind of want to see maybe a Spin to Win rogue a little bit. So I'm definitely going to try some stuff. That's going to be fun. Vessel of Hatred is going to launch in just a few hours here, guys. I hope this video helps you. I will be live streaming it on YouTube here and also on Twitch. So feel free to jump in, say hello and ask questions. We'll also do giveaways probably. We'll, similar to how we did Winterglass giveaways, I'm going to stack up on a lot of Harmonies. I'm going to stack up early on a lot of Kepaleke and on a lot of Midnight Sun Rings. And we will just give them away to you guys, to the community. Couple days in probably. And there's also Twitch drops, guys. You can earn in-game transmogs starting on October 8th, so starting tomorrow. You can just basically get, from just watching on Twitch, this is going to be on my Twitch channel. Just for 3 hours, you get a transmog here for free. It starts out with a Sorcerer Necro one, then it's Barbarian, then it's Rogue. And yeah, they look pretty good. And on top of this, guys, if you want to join the Support a Streamer program, you can also consider, similar to on the launch, gifting 2 subscriptions on the Twitch channel to unlock this in-game horse mount. Or you can even gift 4 subscriptions. You can support the channel at the same time. I will have this active. Any streamer will have this active. So you'll support the streamer and you also get ad-free viewing if you're also subbing yourself. So thank you very much for tuning in and for like, you know, coming by the live stream. I'll be live like pretty much for 30 hours on the launch. So we're going to have a great time and we're going to do Barb next and then maybe some Spin to Win Rogue. But yeah, this Spiritborn is going to be amazing, guys. I think we have character select here. I was discussing this earlier. This was how my Spiritborn looked here, Paragon 300, in the early review version that I had here. And I'm thinking I'm gonna go with female Spiritborn. The class looks amazing. It's fantastic to play, fast pace, and we blast, and then some barb later. Hope you enjoyed, my friends. Log in. I'll see you in a few hours here on the live stream. Let's go, GG. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. I'm also live on Twitch almost every day, so come and say hi.